Okay, guys, to all you grill lovers out there, my Recteq 700 is finally put together. I did initially have an unboxing, but the volume was so low and so jacked that I can't use it, so I guess I'm going with just this part of it. Anyway, I wanted to kind of brush up on the construction on this grill, like give you my thoughts on it. So after doing extensive research on the purchase of a new grill, I ended up going with the Recteq. And so let me tell you why. One, first and foremost, were the reviews. I personally could not find one negative review on the performance of this grill. Not one. Now, I'm sure some of you will come back and say, oh, we're talking about, man, I found at least 3 or 4. Fine. But the majority of the reviews I read, if they were at all even remotely negative, it was for something that was easily fixed. Had nothing to do with the performance of the grill, had nothing to do with not being able to retain heat, or anything of that sort. Okay? Now, okay, let me just say this. I had a Traeger before I bought this grill. And I'll get more into why I bought this grill compared to the Traeger. But for right now, let's just say this. I was sorely disappointed with the money that I spent on my Traeger, because everything I got, I didn't get from that Traeger. I know that I'm going to get from this. So let me just show you a couple of the modifications I made. First and foremost, this lid is heavy. Way heavy. You just know that it's going to hold in the heat. Okay? When you look down into the pit of the grill, you'll see how Recteq actually caulked their seams in areas where heat could escape. Really a fantastic idea. It's that RTV high heat caulking. Okay. Now, I read somewhere, and this is going back to one of those negative reviews that I said I might have read or did read, but easily fixable, was some guy was saying that he was leaking some oil beneath his frame, and it just turned out that he needed a little bit more sealant around, or caulking around the seam. So Recteq sent him some caulking. Problem solved. Had nothing to do with the cooking temperatures or anything like that. It was just something that was very easily fixable. My modification on this unit was to ensure that I would have zero issues with retaining heat, or just playing the guessing game as to whether or not heat was an issue. Was I looked inside this grill to see if there was any openings or gaps or anything that should have been sealed and wasn't. I will say that in this area down here, where the oil drips, there was an opening, a gap, where heat could easily escape. Now, with all the reviews I've read about this unit, about the 700, heat was never an issue. But for me, it was just an extra insurance policy to seal this area and just get it done. All the way to the top. From the corner down, I sealed the whole area. Let me get a light in there for you. See that? Now, what I also did for an extra insurance policy is I did another bead of seaming, of caulking around the same areas that they did it in. Okay? And then I ran my finger down to get it nice and even. You can buy that caulking at any Harbor Freight if you choose to. It's very cheap, and it's a great insurance policy. The other thing I did was this smokestack did not come with any kind of smokestack gasket that would go between the frame and this. But again, it wasn't something that most people had issues with. It was just something that I additionally sealed because I just wanted more control over the heat, just in case. So what I did was I took the smokestack off. I put a bead of caulking inside there. There's actually a lip. If you look at this lip, you can put the bead of caulking all the way around here, just like that. And then I put the smokestack in and bolted it. Guess what? No heat will come through there. The only heat that's going to go through here is through this area. It won't go through here. Not to say that it would have if I didn't caulk it, but again, that's how I did it. If you go back here, you will see how Recteq went in and caulked the hopper all the way down where the auger is. Now, can you guys guess what's missing? Let me give you an example. Let me tell you. If you look on the outside of the auger, there's something that's not there that a lot of these grills have. Well, mostly Traeger. It's a pellet door so that you can drop your pellets. Do you know why they don't have that? I'll tell you. Because if you look down here, they got caulking around the seam where the auger is. It does one of two things by not having a door so that you can drop your pellets like Traeger has. One is it retains the heat, and two, it prevents moisture from going in. Some people say, oh, if I don't have a pellet door, I'm not going to buy it. Well, okay, then don't buy it. You'll fight with heat temperatures and settings and all that crap, and you'll have to deal with it. Whereas you can just put in the amount of pellets that you want. Just go in and put 10. You don't have to put 40 pounds because it'll hold 40 pounds. Put 20 pounds. Go through it, and then vacuum up what you don't want. Or vacuum up. Get a vacuum dedicated just for this grill, so that you can take the pellets and put them in a bin, like a Home Depot bucket or something, seal it, and then you can label that bucket the way you want. So if it's mesquite pellets you had in there, you can label the bucket and use it at another time. But again, I wouldn't fill the whole hopper unless, and this is just me talking, like a lot of people still fill it and leave the pellets in there, but I wouldn't fill it unless you got a long cook that you're going to have to put more pellets in for. I don't typically do those really long cooks unless I'm making a brisket. But I've learned that 20 pounds serves me well. But if I do a long brisket that might take 20 hours or 18 hours, I'll fill the hopper. And then I'll take out whatever leftover pellets I have, I'll vacuum it up, and then put it in its own bucket, dedicated bucket. Anyway, I got the competition cart with it. It's a solid little cart. The only thing I kind of wish it had, like I wish they had designed it in a way to where you can actually, where it actually had some kind of shelf underneath there so that you can put stuff in it. I kind of don't know why they didn't do that. I mean, maybe it costs more money. I don't know. But that's okay because the legs that it did come with, I'm going to make a cart out of anyway. Anyway, guys, I'm going to tell you that this is all basically stainless steel. The only thing that's steel, I believe it's this and powder coated and this. The rest of it is stainless steel. Even the horns are stainless steel. I'm going to tell you that if you were to buy any other grill that was built this way, you would be upwards of about, I'm guessing maybe $3,000 to $5,000 just for the stainless steel alone. I don't know how Recteq gets away with selling these grills at such an affordable price, but maybe that's why they're so popular. Honestly, I didn't even know about them until I started doing more and more research, because I promised myself I wasn't going to make the mistake of buying another Traeger. I mean, hands down, that's just plain and simple. I just wasn't. I was bought into a name instead of the quality of the product. I know some of you are going to come at me and say, well, I own a Traeger and it's great quality and it does a great job. Well, that's great. I don't know what you have. Maybe you have one of the higher end ones where you pay a lot more money for what you should have gotten at an $800 price. But that's great for you. This grill, I know, will serve all my will meet all my expectations. So anyway, I'll get back to you guys once I get the whole setup squared away. Thanks for watching, and hopefully we can do some grilling together. I'm out.